Well, this morning, growing concerns about the safety of FBI agents, Director Christopher Wray and Attorney General Merrick Garland after the raid on Mar-a-Lago. As the DOJ faces growing pressure for some answers, Fox News is learning members of the federal law enforcement community are getting more frustrated by the Attorney General's silence. GOP Congressman and former Navy SEAL Dan Crenshaw join us now. Good morning to you.
Morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. Well, thank you for coming on. We just got this news that there are growing concerns of the safety of FBI agents, of the AG and the FBI director because of social media posts where they are spotting a significant increase in death threats, which is unfortunate. How do you feel about this? What's your response?
Well, I think that's unacceptable, but it was also unacceptable that the AG refused to provide protection for our Supreme Court justices when they were not only receiving threats, but someone actually showed up near Brett Kavanaugh's house with the intent to kill him with a weapon. You know, they weren't so concerned about it then. So that's, you know, that's a little bit frustrating there. Look, people are really angry about this entire thing. They've seen a pattern with the Department of Justice, and it didn't just start with Biden. It started with Obama. Remember, Obama or AG Holden said that that he was Obama's wingman, right? That was an overt statement that said that they would politicize the Department of Justice. They used the IRS to target conservative nonprofit groups. Then fast forward to the Biden administration. Well, heck, you don't even have to. Look at what happened with the FBI and their false evidence that they used for FISA warrants to start Russiagate. Look at the Mueller report. So you see this pattern, and moving along, you see them start to target parents who are protesting their school boards. And then this happens. And this happens at a time when there's already immense distrust in this institution. And that what that institution needs to do more than anything else is to try to regain that trust. And when you do something like this, it feels like the opposite. Because, look, what little we know about this raid is that it's over documents. It's over classified documents that were improperly handled. And perhaps that's true, but the thing is that's easy to resolve via a subpoena. You can subpoena Trump, ask him to return the documents. He's already cooperated with, I think, 15 other boxes of documents that were taken from the White House. This isn't something that requires this big, fanciful, dramatic raid that they know will get a lot of attention. And so it feels extremely politicized, and people are right to be upset about it.
Yeah, especially when you know in the past other presidents have taken things from the White House and their houses have not been raided. Do you think we'll have some transparency and know what they found pretty soon? Do you think the AG will speak out? Because many Republicans and even some Democrats online are calling for him to talk. Kevin McCarthy is saying, Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents and clear your calendar. Glenn Youngkin says a stunning move by the DOJ and the FBI. The same DOJ labeled parents in Loudoun County as terrorists and failed to enforce federal law to protect justices in their homes. Selective, politically motivated actions have no place in our democracy. What do you say?
They're completely right. They do. This is a different time. This is different circumstances. Usually, during an investigation, they would stay silent. But this is not usually. This is not normal. You just raided a former president's home under shady circumstances, and you need to tell people why. You need to assure the public that there was some serious evidence of wrongdoing here that required this search. Now, I'm not sure they're going to be able to do that, but Kevin McCarthy is right. When we retake the House in November, this is the kind of oversight that we will be doing. That's why he said, clear your calendar, Merrick Garland, because you're coming, and you better have your documents ready, and you better have explanations ready for the American people, because you cannot weaponize our institutions for political gain. That is the destruction of democracy. For all the talk we hear about Democrats being worried about the fall of our democracy and trying to prevent threats to our democracy, this is a threat to our democracy when you threaten the sanctity of our institutions and make people lose faith in them. That is one of the worst things you can do, because we do need our institutions and we need to be able to trust them.
Congressman, let's talk about the inaptly named Inflation Reduction Act, because I know that the House will vote on that this week. I believe it's on Friday. When it comes to these electric cars, the Democrats are pushing us to buy these, but they're expensive. And even the automakers, even though in this bill, there is a tax credit of up to $4,000 if you buy one of these. The automakers are complaining, saying that that credit would only allow for a narrow slice of vehicles, if they're even available. What do you know about the electric car wording in this bill?
Yeah, so first of all, I don't feel sorry for any rich people who can't get their tax credit when they go buy their Tesla. Let's get that off the table. But if we are going to have tax credits, I do like this is a Republican amendment into the bill that said, look, if you're going to have these tax credits in there, then the car manufacturers should at least be manufacturing these batteries with majority American materials, and by 2029, 100% American materials. And so that is pretty difficult to do. And what it does, though, is exposes the hypocrisy and frankly, the lack of thinking and analytical problem solving and that the Democrats engage in. Because what they do is they say, look, we want everybody to have electric vehicles. We should be using an electrified grid. We should be using solar panels and wind, and everything will be wonderful. Well, okay, guess what? That takes materials. It takes rare earth minerals, and it takes a lot of them. It takes a lot more than it otherwise would for normal cars and normal oil and gas production. Well, do you want to, say, permit mines in the United States that would allow us to do that? And they say, oh, well, no. We're gonna bog those down in environmental lawsuits and make sure they never happen. I mean, this happened in the last 6 months when the Biden administration closed down the Twin Cities mine, which would have produced copper and nickel, the exact kind of things that we need if they want to have the goals that they have. And so they want all the things, but they don't want the things that make the things. And that's a real problem when you're talking about these issues.
Yeah, you can't make the things if you shut down the other things. Thank you so much, Congressman. We appreciate you coming on.
Good to be with you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.